The bond between humans and dogs is a special one, and many pet owners have long suspected that their furry friends are capable of sensing their emotions. But is there any truth to this belief? Can dogs really pick up on human feelings and respond accordingly? According to a recent study published in the journal Learning and Behavior, the answer appears to be yes. Researchers at the University of Helsinki conducted a series of experiments to determine whether dogs could differentiate between happy and angry human expressions. The results were clear. Not only could they tell the difference, but they also tended to avoid people who appeared angry. To conduct the study, the researchers showed dogs images of people with either happy or angry facial expressions while simultaneously playing either happy or angry sounds. They found that the dogs spent significantly more time looking at the faces that matched the emotional tone of the sounds being played. In other words, if a happy sound was played while the dog was looking at an image of a smiling person, they would spend more time looking at that face than if an angry sound was played instead. Additionally, the researchers placed bowls of food in front of the dogs and had humans approach them with either a happy or angry expression. They found that the dogs were less likely to take food from someone who appeared angry, suggesting that they were able to accurately pick up on negative emotions and respond accordingly. So why might dogs be able to sense human emotions? One theory is that it has to do with their ability to read body language and facial expressions. Dogs are highly attuned to subtle changes in posture and movement, and they rely heavily on visual cues to understand the world around them. It's possible that they have evolved to recognize human emotions as a way of better understanding how to interact with their owners. Another theory is that dogs may be able to pick up on the chemical signals that humans give off when they experience different emotions. When we feel happy, for example, our bodies release endorphins and other feel-good hormones that dogs may be able to detect. Similarly, when we feel angry or anxious, our bodies release different chemicals that may be perceptible to our canine companions. Whatever the reason for their abilities, there's no denying that dogs have a remarkable ability to sense our emotions and respond in kind. This is just one of the many reasons why they make such wonderful pets and loyal companions. So the next time you're feeling down, don't be surprised if your furry friend comes over to offer some comfort. They may just be responding to your emotional state in a way that only they can. In a heartwarming display of interspecies friendship, a cat and a duck have become the unlikeliest of companions, capturing the hearts of millions on social media. The cat, named Whiskers, was initially believed to be a danger to the duck, who goes by the name of Finny, but the two quickly proved everyone wrong. A video of the pair playing together in their duck pond has gone viral, earning over 10 million views on Instagram alone. In the clip, Whiskers can be seen carefully pawing at the glass while Finny swims around him, seemingly unafraid. The owner of the pets, 26-year-old Jenna Smith, said she was surprised at how quickly they became friends. "I had my doubts at first, but Whiskers is actually quite gentle with Finny," she explained. "They've been sharing the same space for a month now, and I haven't seen any signs of aggression from either of them." While it's not uncommon for cats to prey on animals, particularly duck, experts say that it's possible for the two species to coexist peacefully. "It really depends on the personality of the individual animals," said Dr. Sarah Johnson, a veterinarian specializing in feline behavior. "In some cases, cats can even form bonds with smaller animals like birds or rodents." The internet has been quick to embrace the unlikely friendship between Whiskers and Finny, with many users commenting on how adorable the two are together. Some have even suggested that the pair could be the inspiration for a children's book or animated movie. "It just goes to show that friendships can form in the most unexpected ways," said Smith. "I never would have thought that a cat and a duck could get along like this, but here we are." As the video continues to make its rounds on social media, it seems that the world can't get enough of Whiskers and Finny's heartwarming bond. For anyone looking for a little bit of positivity in their day, this unlikely friendship is sure to bring a smile to your face. In a world where technology continues to shape our daily lives, it comes as no surprise that robots have made their way into the kitchen. Over the past few years, the use of robotic chefs has been steadily increasing, and it's not hard to see why. These machines are efficient, precise, and can work tirelessly without needing a break. Picture this: you walk into a restaurant and are greeted by a friendly host who shows you to your table. As you peruse the menu, you notice that there is no mention of any human chefs. Instead, all the dishes are prepared by machines. Not only that, but the kitchen is visible through a glass partition, allowing you to watch the robots in action. It may sound like something out of a sci-fi movie, but it's actually becoming more and more common. In fact, some restaurants in Japan have already implemented fully automated kitchens, with robots doing everything from chopping vegetables to plating dishes. One of the main benefits of using robotic chefs is their precision. They can be programmed to cut ingredients to exact measurements and cook them for exactly the right amount of time. This means that each dish is consistent and of high quality, which is especially important for chain restaurants. Another advantage of using robots in the kitchen is their efficiency. They don't require breaks or sick days, and can work around the clock if necessary. This means that restaurants can increase their output and serve more customers without needing to hire additional staff. But what about the human touch, you might ask? Can a robot really replicate the creativity and passion that a human chef brings to a dish? While it's true that robots may lack the intuition and spontaneity of a human, some companies are working on ways to incorporate these elements into their machines. For example, Robotics has created a robotic kitchen that can mimic the movements of a human chef. The machine is equipped with cameras that capture the movements of a chef as they prepare a dish. This information is then used to program the robot to replicate those same movements. The result is a machine that can cook just like a human, but with greater precision and efficiency. Of course, there are also concerns about the impact of robotic chefs on employment in the restaurant industry. While it's true that some jobs may be lost as a result of automation, there are also opportunities for new roles to be created. For example, someone will still need to oversee the robots and ensure that they are working properly. Additionally, chefs may be able to focus more on recipe development and menu planning, rather than spending all their time in the kitchen. So what does the future hold for robotic chefs? It's hard to say for sure, but one thing is certain: the use of automation in the kitchen is only going to increase. Whether it's fully automated restaurants or machines that assist human chefs, robots are here to stay. And who knows, maybe one day we'll even have a robot that can make the perfect grilled cheese sandwich. As summer approaches, many pet owners are asking themselves whether their furry friends are at risk of sunburn. It's a common misconception that dogs can't get sunburned or that their fur protects them from the harmful rays of the sun. However, just like humans, dogs can suffer from sunburn and even skin cancer if they're not properly protected. According to the American Kennel Club, dogs with lighter coats and those with less hair, such as Dalmatians and Boxers, are more susceptible to sunburn than dogs with thicker coats. Additionally, dogs with pink noses or white fur around their muzzles are at higher risk of developing skin cancer than other dogs. If you have a dog that falls into these categories, it's important to take extra precautions during the summer months. So, what are some signs that your dog might be suffering from sunburn? Look out for red, inflamed skin, hair loss, blisters, and scaly patches. If your dog is exhibiting any of these symptoms, it's important to seek veterinary care immediately. Sunburned skin can be incredibly painful for dogs and can even lead to infection if left untreated. To prevent sunburn in dogs, there are a few things you can do. First and foremost, limit exposure to the sun during the hottest parts of the day, typically between 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. Instead, take your dog for walks early in the morning or late in the evening when the sun is less strong. If you're planning on spending time outside with your dog during peak sun hours, invest in a canine-specific sunscreen. Never use human sunscreen on your dog, as it can contain ingredients that are toxic to dogs. Apply sunscreen to your dog's nose, ears, and any other areas where skin is exposed. Another way to protect your dog from the sun is by investing in protective clothing, such as sun shirts or hats. These types of clothing are especially helpful for dogs with short hair or light-colored coats. Finally, make sure your dog has access to plenty of shade and water throughout the day. If you're spending time in the backyard, set up a shaded area with a water bowl nearby. This will help keep your dog cool and hydrated while also protecting them from the sun's harmful rays. In conclusion, dogs can definitely get sunburnt, and it's important for pet owners to take precautions during the summer months. By limiting exposure to the sun, investing in canine-specific sunscreen and protective clothing, and providing plenty of shade and water, you can help protect your furry friend from the harmful effects of the sun. Remember, just like humans, prevention is key when it comes to sunburn and skin cancer in dogs. Have you heard about the guy who lives underwater? It may seem like a tale of science fiction, but it's totally real. Meet Steve, the man who chose to make his home in the depths of the ocean. He has spent his entire life studying the underwater world and all its creatures. He is a marine biologist whose fascination with the ocean knows no bounds. One day, an idea struck him: if he wanted to understand the ocean better, he had to live among its inhabitants. So, he designed and built a home that would let him do just that. Steve's home isn't a typical house. It's made up of interconnected pods anchored to the seafloor. The pods are built from special materials that can withstand the pressure of the deep sea. They have everything he needs to survive in the water: food, water, air, and electricity. Living underwater isn't easy, but Steve has figured out ways to make it work. He spends most of his days exploring and researching the ocean floor. He's discovered new species of fish and plants and even befriended some of the sea creatures. Of course, living underwater comes with its challenges. The constant darkness can be disorientating, and the lack of fresh air takes some getting used to. However, for Steve, the rewards are more than worth it. He feels more connected to the ocean than ever before, and he's making discoveries that could change our understanding of the underwater world. Living underwater has also given Steve a different perspective on life. He's learned to appreciate the simple things, like the sound of waves or sunlight filtering through the water. He's also gained a deeper appreciation for the fragility of our planet and the importance of protecting it. In many ways, Steve's story reminds us that there are still mysteries to be explored and new frontiers to be conquered. His life is an inspiration to keep pushing boundaries. As I sit here writing this article, I can't help but feel envious of Steve and his underwater home. But, at the same time, I'm grateful for the work he's doing and the discoveries he's making. Thanks to people like Steve, we're learning more about our planet and its inhabitants. Who knows? Maybe one day, we'll all have the opportunity to live underwater. Until then, let's keep exploring and dreaming of what's possible. Orange deserves more love than it gets. Orange is often overlooked when it comes to color choices. People tend to prefer blues or greens over the bright and bold oranges out there. However, let me tell you why orange deserves more love than it gets. To start with, orange has a way of making people feel warm and happy. Orange is often associated with enthusiasm, creativity, and excitement. Just think about how seeing a stunning orange sunset or a juicy, ripe orange fruit can suddenly make you feel invigorated and alive. I have a personal connection with the color orange. When I was younger, my grandfather would grow pumpkins in his garden every fall. He would always keep one pumpkin for me that he would paint a bright shade of orange. Seeing that pumpkin each year always brought warmth to my heart, and I still associate that color with fond memories. But orange isn't just a sentimental favorite, it's also practical in many ways. Orange is often used as a safety color because it's easily seen from a distance. That's why construction workers wear bright orange vests, and traffic cones are painted orange. This means that this fantastic color doesn't just look good, but it can also keep us safe. Another exciting thing about orange is its versatility. It can work in fashion, home decor, and branding. Orange isn't just a great color in fashion, where it shines as an accent piece like a scarf or necklace that can brighten up a neutral outfit. It's also versatile in home decor, adding a pop of color to any room without dominating the space. In fact, many companies use orange in their branding because it's associated with innovation, energy, and friendliness. So let's give orange the recognition it deserves. Even though orange may not be a top pick for many people, it has plenty of great qualities. The color can elicit positive emotions and has practical uses, such as being easily seen from afar. That's why it's an excellent choice for any occasion. So, next time you encounter something orange, take a moment to appreciate everything this amazing color has to offer. In cities across the United States, pizza delivery drivers are an integral part of the food service industry, and the stories they have to tell are nothing short of fascinating. For many people, ordering a pizza is a simple act of convenience. But for the drivers who bring that pizza to your doorstep, it's anything but. Each day, these intrepid delivery heroes brave bad weather, late nights, and sometimes dangerous neighborhoods, all in the name of getting your pie in a timely manner. Recently, we had the opportunity to speak with several pizza delivery drivers from around the country. They shared their experiences on the job and provided us with a glimpse into the secret life of pizza delivery drivers. One driver we spoke with was Maria G., a seasoned veteran who has been delivering pizzas for over a decade. Maria spoke about the challenges of working in a busy urban area, where navigating traffic and finding parking can be a constant headache. She also talked about some of her more memorable deliveries, including one to a high-rise apartment building where she had to climb 20 flights of stairs to deliver the pizza. Another driver we spoke with, Tony L., told us about the time he delivered a pizza to a movie set where a famous actress was filming a scene. He said he was starstruck when he realized who he was delivering to, but managed to keep his cool long enough to get paid and leave without causing a scene. But not all of the stories we heard were lighthearted. Some drivers shared accounts of being robbed or assaulted while on the job, highlighting the dangers that come with working in certain neighborhoods. Despite the risks involved, pizza delivery drivers remain dedicated to their work. They take pride in providing a valuable service to their customers, and many of them enjoy the freedom that comes with driving around town and meeting new people. It's important to remember that pizza delivery drivers are an essential part of the food service industry, and they deserve our respect and appreciation. So the next time you order a pizza, take a moment to think about the person who will be bringing it to your door and consider leaving them a generous tip. The secret life of pizza delivery drivers is anything but mundane. From navigating tricky traffic to meeting famous celebrities on movie sets, these drivers have a wealth of interesting stories to tell. But above all, we should remember that they are hardworking individuals who provide an important service to their communities. So let's give them the respect they deserve, and maybe even a little extra tip for their troubles.
The bizarre origins of your favorite foods. Have you ever wondered where your favorite foods came from? Did they just magically appear in your kitchen pantry or on the shelves of your local grocery store? The truth is, many of the foods we love today have some truly bizarre origins that might surprise you. Take popcorn, for example. This beloved snack has been around for centuries, but it wasn't always the buttery, salty treat we know and love today. Popcorn actually originated in Mexico thousands of years ago, where it was enjoyed by the ancient Aztecs. They would pop the kernels by throwing them onto hot stones or into fires, and then season them with various spices and herbs. Another popular food with an unexpected origin story is ketchup. Today, ketchup is a staple condiment found in homes and restaurants all over the world. But did you know that the first ketchup was actually made from fermented fish? That's right, in its earliest form, ketchup was a fish sauce that originated in Southeast Asia. It eventually made its way to Europe and North America, where it evolved into the sweet tomato-based sauce we know and love today. And speaking of tomatoes, did you know that this popular fruit was once considered poisonous in many parts of the world? That's right, when tomatoes were first introduced to Europe from South America in the 16th century, people were skeptical of their bright red color and strange taste. Many believed that eating tomatoes could be deadly, thanks in part to their resemblance to another poisonous plant called belladonna. It wasn't until the 1800s that tomatoes finally gained widespread acceptance as a safe and delicious food. Chocolate is another beloved treat with a fascinating history. This sweet indulgence has been enjoyed for thousands of years, dating back to the ancient Maya and Aztec civilizations in Central America. They used cacao beans to make a bitter drink that was believed to have medicinal properties. It wasn't until the 16th century that chocolate made its way to Europe, where it was sweetened with sugar and turned into the creamy confection we know and love today. These are just a few examples of the bizarre origins of some of our favorite foods. So the next time you're snacking on popcorn or dipping your fries in ketchup, take a moment to appreciate the long and storied history behind these everyday treats. Who knows, you might even discover a new appreciation for the flavors and cultures that have shaped the foods we love.
Unleashing the power of laughter, how 10 minutes of daily jokes can transform your life. Are you feeling down, stressed out, or just need a good laugh? Well, look no further than your own sense of humor. A recent study conducted by the University of Oxford has found that laughter has significant health benefits and can positively impact various aspects of our lives. The study, which surveyed over 3,000 individuals, found that those who engaged in 10 minutes of daily laughter reported lower stress levels, improved mood, and increased productivity. In fact, participants reported feeling more energized and motivated to tackle their daily tasks after incorporating daily laughs into their routine. But why is laughter so powerful? According to Dr. Robert Provini, a professor of psychology at the University of Maryland, laughter serves as a social glue that can strengthen relationships and promote bonding between individuals. It also releases endorphins, which are natural painkillers that promote feelings of happiness and well-being. So how can we incorporate more laughter into our daily lives? One simple way is to set aside 10 minutes each day to read jokes or watch funny videos. There are plenty of resources available online, including websites, YouTube channels, and social media accounts dedicated to humorous content. Another option is to attend a comedy show or improv class. Not only will you get a good laugh, but you may also meet new friends and improve your social skills. It's important to note that not all types of humor are created equal. While harmless jokes can be beneficial, hurtful humor or sarcasm can have negative effects on our emotional well-being and relationships. So it's important to choose sources of laughter that align with your values and promote positive emotions. Incorporating laughter into our daily routines may seem like a small change, but the benefits can be profound. As the saying goes, laughter is the best medicine, and for good reason. So why not give it a try and see how a daily dose of humor can transform your life?
In a world where we are constantly bombarded with negative news and stress, it can be easy to lose sight of the good things we have in our lives. But did you know that practicing gratitude can actually improve your overall happiness and well-being? According to recent studies, cultivating a sense of gratitude can boost positive emotions, increase resilience to stress, and even improve physical health. So why aren't more people talking about this powerful tool for personal growth? One reason may be that gratitude is often seen as a passive emotion, something we experience when good things happen to us. But in reality, gratitude is an active practice that requires intentional effort and mindfulness. To start practicing gratitude, try keeping a daily journal where you reflect on 3 things you are thankful for each day. These can be big or small things, like a supportive friend, a delicious meal, or a beautiful sunset. The key is to focus on the positive aspects of your life and take time to appreciate them. Another way to cultivate gratitude is to express it to others. Take time to thank the people in your life who make a difference, whether it's a kind neighbor or a hardworking coworker. Not only will this help you build stronger relationships, but it will also reinforce the positive impact that gratitude can have on your life. It's worth noting that gratitude isn't a one-size-fits-all solution. Some people may find that writing in a journal works best for them, while others may prefer to verbally express their appreciation. The key is to find what works for you and make gratitude a regular part of your routine. So why does gratitude have such a powerful effect on our well-being? One theory is that it helps shift our focus from negative thoughts and emotions to positive ones. By actively seeking out the good things in our lives, we can retrain our brains to look for the positive rather than the negative. Additionally, expressing gratitude has been shown to increase levels of the hormone dopamine, which is associated with feelings of pleasure and reward. This can help boost our motivation and energy levels, making it easier to tackle challenges and pursue our goals. Of course, practicing gratitude isn't a magic cure for all of life's problems. But by incorporating this simple practice into your daily routine, you may find that you feel more positive, resilient, and fulfilled. So the next time you're feeling stressed or overwhelmed, take a moment to reflect on the things you are thankful for. You might be surprised at how much of a difference it can make in your overall well-being. In conclusion, gratitude is a powerful tool that can help us improve our happiness and well-being. By actively seeking out the good things in our lives and expressing appreciation for them, we can shift our focus to the positive and cultivate a sense of resilience in the face of stress and adversity. So why not give it a try and see how a little bit of gratitude can transform your life? Now, try to answer all of the following questions. What are some benefits of practicing gratitude? Why is it important to focus on the positive aspects of our lives? How can we show appreciation for the people in our lives? Do you think that gratitude is an effective tool for personal growth? Why or why not? In your opinion, what is the best way to cultivate a sense of gratitude in your daily life?
Navigating everyday life with mindfulness, 5 simple practices for a happier you today. In today's fast-paced world, it can be easy to get caught up in the hustle and bustle of daily life. The constant pressure to meet deadlines, attend meetings, and juggle personal responsibilities can leave us feeling overwhelmed and stressed out. But what if there was a way to navigate everyday life with more ease and happiness? Enter mindfulness. Mindfulness is the practice of being present and fully engaged in the current moment. It involves paying attention to your thoughts, sensations, and surroundings without judgment or distraction. By focusing on the present moment, mindfulness can help alleviate stress, anxiety, and other negative emotions that can arise from our busy lives. Here are 5 simple practices you can start incorporating into your daily routine to cultivate mindfulness and improve your overall well-being. Take mindful breaths. Start by taking a few deep breaths, focusing solely on your breath as you inhale and exhale. This can help calm your mind and body, allowing you to focus on the present moment. Use this technique whenever you feel overwhelmed or stressed out throughout the day. Practice gratitude. Take a few minutes each day to reflect on things you're grateful for. This can be anything from a supportive friend to a warm cup of coffee in the morning. Focusing on the positive aspects of your life can shift your mindset to one of appreciation and contentment. Eat mindfully. When eating, try to focus on the taste, texture, and smell of your food. Chew slowly and savor each bite. This not only helps you enjoy your food more but also promotes healthy digestion and can prevent overeating. Engage your senses. Take a moment to engage your senses throughout the day. Notice the way the sun feels on your skin or the sound of birds chirping outside your window. By tuning into your senses, you can enhance your experience of the present moment and cultivate a greater sense of awareness. Unplug. Take a break from technology and social media for at least an hour each day. Our constant connectivity can make it difficult to be fully present in our surroundings. By unplugging, we can create space for more meaningful connections with ourselves and those around us. Incorporating these mindfulness practices into your daily routine can help reduce stress, increase happiness, and improve overall well-being. Remember, mindfulness is not about achieving perfection or eliminating all negative thoughts and emotions. It's about accepting what comes up in the present moment and responding with kindness and compassion. So take a deep breath and start navigating everyday life with mindfulness today. Shocking, my personal experience with urgent weight loss now. Weight loss is a topic that millions of people around the world are interested in. Whether it's to improve their health or for aesthetic reasons, losing weight can be a difficult and frustrating process. For me, it wasn't until I had a wake-up call that I realized I needed to lose weight urgently. It was a typical day at work when I suddenly felt a sharp pain in my chest and difficulty breathing. Panicked, I went to the emergency room and was told that I had high blood pressure and was at risk for a heart attack. That was the moment that changed everything for me. I knew I needed to make drastic changes to my lifestyle if I wanted to live a long and healthy life. After doing some research, I discovered a weight loss program that promised quick results. Skeptical but desperate, I decided to give it a try. The program involved a strict diet and exercise regimen, and let me tell you, it was not easy. There were days when I felt like giving up, but I kept reminding myself of why I started in the first place. And after just a few weeks, I started seeing results. Not only did I lose weight, but my blood pressure also decreased significantly. I continued with the program, and now, 6 months later, I am happy to say that I have lost a total of 50 pounds. More importantly, I feel healthier and more confident than ever before. My experience taught me that urgent weight loss is not impossible, but it does require dedication and hard work. If you're considering embarking on a weight loss journey, here are some tips that helped me along the way. Find a program that works for you. There are countless weight loss programs out there, so do your research and find one that fits with your lifestyle and goals. Stay motivated. The journey can be tough, but reminding yourself why you started can help you stay on track. Don't give up. There will be setbacks and bumps along the way, but don't let them discourage you. Keep pushing forward. Celebrate your successes. Losing weight is an accomplishment, So take time to acknowledge and celebrate your progress. In conclusion, urgent weight loss is possible with the right mindset, program, and support. My personal experience showed me that it's never too late to make a change for the better. So if you're ready to make a change, start now and don't look back. Check out learnwithtex.com for more stories like this. And don't forget to subscribe.
Unleash your inner child, the rise of adult ball pits. Have you ever wanted to dive into a ball pit like you did when you were a kid, but felt too embarrassed to do it as an adult? Well, fear no more. Adult ball pits are becoming all the rage across the country, and people of all the rage across the country, and people of all ages are diving in head first. So what exactly is an adult ball pit? It's exactly what it sounds like, a giant pit filled with thousands of colorful plastic balls, just like the ones you used to play with at Chuck E. Cheese's or McDonald's play place. But now they're bigger, better, and much more Instagram-worthy. These new and improved ball pits are popping up everywhere from trendy bars to pop-up events, and even in some offices as a way to relieve stress. They provide a fun and unique experience that can transport adults back to their childhoods, even if just for a little while. But why are adult ball pits becoming so popular now? Some say it's because millennials are looking for new and exciting ways to socialize and have fun, while others believe it's a way to escape the stresses of daily life. Whatever the reason may be, one thing is for sure. These ball pits are bringing people together and creating memories that will last a lifetime. One popular spot for adult ball pits is Bolly Ballerson, a bar in London that boasts 2 ball pits, one with 200,000 balls and another with 1 million balls. The bar offers cocktails, pizzas, and of course plenty of opportunities for Instagram-worthy photos. Another popular destination is the Beach Chicago, a pop-up event that features a massive ball pit filled with over 1 million plastic balls, along with beach chairs, umbrellas, and other summertime essentials. This event has been such a hit that it has now expanded to other cities, including Miami and Washington, D.C. But it's not just bars and pop-up events that are getting in on the action. Some companies are incorporating ball pits into their office spaces as a way to boost creativity and relieve stress. One such company is VaynerMedia, a digital marketing agency based in New York City. Their office boasts a ball pit with over 100,000 balls, which employees can use to take a break from their work and let loose for a little while. So if you're looking for a new and unique experience that will transport you back to your childhood, consider checking out an adult ball pit. With so many options popping up across the country, there's sure to be one near you. Just remember to kick off your shoes, jump in, and let your inner child run wild. Why do dogs wag their tails? The surprising truth behind this canine behavior. Dogs are often referred to as man's best friend for their loyalty, companionship, and playful nature. One of the most iconic visual cues of a happy dog is tail wagging, but have you ever wondered why dogs wag their tails or what it means? Tail wagging is a form of communication that dogs use to convey different emotions and intentions. It's not just a sign of happiness. Tail wagging can be a complex behavior that expresses a variety of feelings. According to animal behaviorists, when a dog wags its tail to the right side, it usually indicates positive feelings, such as happiness, excitement, or anticipation. Conversely, if the tail is wagging leftwards, it may indicate negative emotions like nervousness or fear. However, this lateral bias in tail wagging is not always consistent, and some dogs may wag their tails in both directions. Moreover, the speed and height of the wag also play a crucial role in interpreting a dog's emotional state. A fast wag with a high amplitude typically suggests happiness or excitement, while a slower, lower wag may indicate anxiety or uncertainty. Interestingly, not all tail wagging is friendly or welcoming. Dogs may also wag their tails aggressively or defensively. For instance, a dog may wag its tail slowly while baring its teeth, which could signal an impending attack. Therefore, it's essential to look at the context and other body language cues to understand the underlying emotion behind the tail wagging. So, why do dogs wag their tails in the first place? Some scientists believe that tail wagging is a vestige of wolf behavior, where the alpha wolf would lift its tail to display dominance over subordinate members. However, this theory is somewhat contested, as dogs have evolved significantly from their wild ancestors and adapted to human domestication. Another explanation relates to the role of the tail in a dog's balance and coordination. Dogs use their tails like a rudder, which helps them change direction swiftly while running or walking. Therefore, some experts argue that dogs wag their tails to signal their readiness to initiate movement or play. Regardless of the reason behind it, tail wagging is an essential part of canine communication, and it's crucial for both humans and dogs to be aware of its nuances and meanings. As pet owners, we must pay attention to our furry friends' body language and respond accordingly to ensure their well-being. In conclusion, tail wagging is not just a simple gesture that dogs use to express happiness or excitement. It's a complex behavior that conveys a range of emotions and intentions, depending on the context, speed, and amplitude of the wag. While we may never fully understand the intricacies of tail wagging, being mindful of its significance can enhance our bond with our furry companions and make us better pet parents. Why are people obsessed with plant TikTok? If you've spent any amount of time on the popular social media platform, TikTok, chances are you've come across videos of people showing off their lush indoor gardens. From tiny succulents to towering monsteras, plants have become a major trend on the app, and users just can't get enough. But what is it about these leafy green creatures that has captured our attention? For starters, many experts believe that our newfound love for plants is rooted in a desire to connect with nature. In today's fast-paced, technology-driven world, it can be difficult to carve out time for outdoor activities like hiking or camping. Plants offer a way to bring a little bit of nature indoors, creating a calming and grounding atmosphere. Additionally, caring for plants has been proven to have numerous mental health benefits. Studies have shown that spending time around plants can reduce stress levels, improve mood, and even boost productivity. It makes sense, then, that people are turning to plants as a way to cope with the challenges of daily life. But why has this trend specifically taken off on TikTok? Part of the answer lies in the platform's algorithm. TikTok's For You page is designed to show users content that's tailored to their interests, based on their past viewing history. This means that if you've engaged with plant-related content in the past, you're likely to see more of it on your feed. However, there's also something inherently satisfying about watching other people care for their plants. TikTok's short-form video format allows users to showcase their plants in creative and entertaining ways, from time-lapse clips of growth to before and after transformations. And because the plant community on TikTok is so supportive, users can share their successes and failures without fear of judgment. Of course, not everyone who enjoys plant TikTok is an experienced gardener. For many people, the videos serve as inspiration to start their own green journey. With so much information available online, it's easier than ever to learn about plant care and find the perfect species for your lifestyle. But this trend isn't just limited to TikTok. Plants have become a major trend across all social media platforms, with Instagram accounts dedicated solely to showcasing beautiful foliage. And it's not just limited to individual users. Even major brands are jumping on the plant bandwagon. In fact, the rise of plant popularity has led to a surge in demand for houseplants across the country. As more people discover the joys of caring for plants, local nurseries and garden centers are struggling to keep up with demand. Some retailers have even reported shortages of popular species like pothos and fiddle leaf figs. So what's next for the world of plant TikTok? It's hard to say for sure, but one thing's for certain. This trend isn't going away anytime soon. Whether you're a seasoned gardener or a newbie just starting out, there's something undeniably appealing about bringing a little bit of nature into your home. So next time you're scrolling through your TikTok feed, take a moment to appreciate the beauty of these leafy green creatures. After all, they might just be the key to a happier, healthier life.
In a world where fast food chains and delivery services are on the rise, the competition is fierce. The latest news coming from the restaurant industry has left everyone in awe when the world's largest pizza delivery took place. According to sources, the massive pizza delivery was made by a team of dedicated pizza makers who worked tirelessly for weeks to prepare for this momentous event. In total, over 2,000 pizzas were involved in the delivery, making it the largest pizza delivery ever made in history. The delivery took place in the bustling city of New York, where crowds gathered to witness the spectacle. The pizzas were transported in a convoy of trucks, escorted by a team of security personnel to ensure the safe delivery of each and every pizza. As the trucks arrived at their destination, the smell of freshly baked pizza filled the air. The recipients of the pizzas were ecstatic, and crowds gathered around to watch as the pizzas were unloaded from the trucks and distributed to the delighted customers. But the question on everyone's mind is, how did they manage to deliver so many pizzas at once? According to sources, the team of pizza makers used state-of-the-art technology to streamline the process. They used advanced ovens that could cook multiple pizzas at once, cutting down on cooking time and allowing them to make more pizzas in less time. Additionally, the delivery process was made more efficient by using GPS technology to track the delivery trucks and ensure that each pizza was delivered to the right location. The success of this massive pizza delivery has certainly set a new benchmark in the restaurant industry. It has shown that with the right technology and dedicated team, anything is possible. So, how many pizzas were involved in this historic delivery, you may ask? Well, the answer is over 2,000 pizzas. That's enough pizza to feed an entire town. In conclusion, the world's largest pizza delivery has left us all in awe. It has shown us that with the right technology and team, anything is possible. Who knows what other amazing feats the restaurant industry has in store for us next? But for now, I'll take a slice of that delicious pizza. Why this Japanese town is covered in purple dye every year? Every year, the small town of Shibori in Japan comes alive with a vibrant burst of color. The entire town is draped in shades of purple as residents come together to celebrate an age-old tradition. The tradition dates back centuries and involves a festival called Shibori no Hai, which translates to Day of Purple. The festival is a way for the people of Shibori to honor their ancestors and celebrate their cultural heritage. So why purple? Well, it turns out that Shibori has a long history of indigo dyeing, a traditional Japanese technique used to color cloth. Indigo is a deep blue dye that has been used in Japan for thousands of years, but over time, its popularity has waned. However, Shibori has managed to keep the tradition alive, and in recent years, they have added a twist, the use of purple dye. The purple dye used in Shibori is made from a plant called murasaki, which is native to the region. It's a delicate process that involves harvesting the plant, grinding it into a paste, and then fermenting it for several months. The resulting dye is a beautiful shade of purple that stands out against the indigo blue that Shibori is known for. On the Day of Purple, the streets of Shibori are transformed into a sea of purple. Homes, businesses, and even the local shrine are adorned with purple banners, streamers, and flags. The festival kicks off with a parade through town, featuring dancers dressed in purple costumes and carrying large banners with the kanji character for purple. As the day progresses, there are various activities for visitors to enjoy. These range from traditional Japanese arts and crafts, such as calligraphy and pottery, to more modern pursuits like karaoke and video games. There are also plenty of food vendors selling local delicacies, including purple sweet potato ice cream and murasaki-infused sake. The Day of Purple is a time for the people of Shibori to come together and celebrate their shared history and traditions. It's a reminder of the importance of preserving cultural heritage, even in the face of modernization and globalization. In recent years, the festival has gained popularity among tourists from around the world. Visitors are drawn to the unique experience of seeing an entire town bathed in purple, and the opportunity to learn more about traditional Japanese culture. While the festival may seem like just a fun and quirky event, it holds a deeper significance for the people of Shibori. It's a way for them to honor their ancestors, preserve their cultural heritage, and share it with the world. So if you're ever in Japan in mid-June, be sure to make your way to Shibori for the Day of Purple. It's a once-in-a-lifetime experience that you won't want to miss. The world of fashion is constantly evolving, and it seems that a new trend is taking over: pineapple hats. Yes, you read that right, hats shaped like pineapples are popping up everywhere from the runway to the streets. But why pineapples? Where did this trend come from? As it turns out, the pineapple has been a symbol of hospitality and warmth for centuries. In colonial times, pineapples were a rare and expensive treat, often presented as a gift to guests to show off the host's wealth and generosity. Fast forward to today, and the pineapple still retains its status as a symbol of warmth and welcome. But now, it has also become a beloved icon of all things tropical and fun. Enter the pineapple hat. These hats come in all shapes and sizes, from simple baseball caps with a pineapple logo to full-on headpieces that look like an actual pineapple. They're made from a variety of materials, including cotton, straw, and even sequins. So where can you find these trendy hats? Well, just about anywhere. Major retailers like Urban Outfitters and Forever 21 have jumped on the pineapple bandwagon, offering a wide variety of pineapple-themed clothing and accessories. But it's not just big retailers who are embracing the trend. Small businesses and independent designers are also getting in on the action, creating unique and eye-catching pineapple hats that stand out from the crowd. Of course, with any trend comes controversy. Some people argue that the pineapple hat trend is just another example of cultural appropriation, using a symbol from another culture without truly understanding its significance. While it's certainly important to be mindful of cultural sensitivity and respect, many argue that the pineapple has transcended its origins and become a symbol of joy and positivity for people of all backgrounds. At the end of the day, whether you love them or hate them, there's no denying that pineapple hats are having their moment in the sun. So why not embrace the trend and rock a pineapple hat of your own? Who knows, you might just start a conversation about the history and meaning behind this quirky fashion statement. In conclusion, pineapples have come a long way from being a rare and expensive treat to becoming a beloved symbol of hospitality and all things tropical. And now, with the rise of the pineapple hat trend, we can all wear our love for this spiky fruit on our heads. Whether you're looking to make a bold fashion statement or simply want to add a touch of fun and whimsy to your wardrobe, the pineapple hat is definitely worth considering. In a world that's becoming increasingly digitized, it seems almost counterintuitive that people would be clamoring to buy vintage typewriters. Yet, that's exactly what's happening in 2023 as people are rediscovering the joys of analog technology. But why now? Why are people choosing typewriters over laptops or smartphones? To answer that question, we first need to understand the appeal of analog technology. In a world where everything is instant and disposable, there's something special about holding an item that was made to last. Analog technology forces us to slow down and savor the experience. It's tactile and engages multiple senses in a way that digital devices simply can't match. Now, let's talk specifically about vintage typewriters. For those unfamiliar with them, typewriters were the primary form of written communication for more than a century. Before computers, if you wanted to put words on paper, a typewriter was your best option. So, what's so special about these machines? For one thing, they're incredibly durable. Unlike laptops or smartphones, which seem to have an expiration date built in, vintage typewriters can last for decades with proper care. But beyond durability, there's something romantic about the idea of typing on a vintage machine. Maybe it's the clack of the keys or the physical effort required to depress each one, but there's a sense of nostalgia associated with typewriters that simply can't be replicated by modern technology. And then, of course, there's the aesthetic appeal. Vintage typewriters are beautiful pieces of machinery with elegant curves and intricate details. They're the antithesis of modern design, which tends to favor minimalism and simplicity over ornamentation. All of these factors combined have created a new market for vintage typewriters. People are scouring antique shops, thrift stores, and online marketplaces in search of the perfect machine. Some are collectors, while others simply want to use a typewriter for its intended purpose, writing. Even major companies are getting in on the trend. In recent years, several typewriter manufacturers have started producing new machines, including the iconic brand Royal. But this newfound popularity has also led to some challenges. As demand has increased, so too have prices. What used to be a niche hobby has become a full-blown trend, and sellers are taking advantage of that fact. There's also the issue of finding replacement parts and supplies. While typewriters themselves may be durable, the ribbons and ink cartridges they require are not as easy to come by. This has led to an increase in demand for typewriter repair services, as well as specialty shops that sell typewriter-specific supplies. Despite these challenges, the typewriter renaissance shows no signs of slowing down. People seem to be drawn to the simplicity and beauty of these machines, and the fact that they represent a slower, more intentional way of working. In a world where we're constantly bombarded with notifications and distractions, using a vintage typewriter can feel like a small act of rebellion. It's a way to take control of our time and focus on what truly matters, the words we're putting on paper. So, if you're looking to slow down and savor the moment, why not give a vintage typewriter a try? Who knows, you may just fall in love with analog technology all over again. Why did thousands of people participate in a giant pillow fight? In the bustling city of San Francisco, something peculiar happened on a seemingly ordinary Saturday afternoon. Thousands of people gathered at Justin Herman Plaza, armed with nothing but pillows. They stood ready, waiting for the signal to commence what can only be described as the world's largest pillow fight. The event, called Pillow Fight San Francisco, has been an annual tradition since 2005. It was started by a local resident who simply wanted to have some fun and bring people together. What began as a small gathering of friends quickly grew into a massive phenomenon, with participants coming from all over the world. But why do people want to participate in something as silly as a giant pillow fight? The answer is simple: it's fun. In a world that can be stressful and overwhelming, events like this provide a much-needed break from reality. It allows people to let loose, forget their worries, and enjoy the simple pleasure of hitting each other with pillows. Participants ranged from young children to senior citizens, all eager to take part in the action. Some came dressed in elaborate costumes, while others wore pajamas or regular street clothes. But regardless of their attire, everyone shared one thing in common: a desire to have a good time. As the clock struck 6 p.m., the air was filled with the sound of fluff hitting feathers and laughter echoing throughout the plaza. Pillows flew left and right, and people bounced around the square, dodging, weaving, and attacking their opponents. It was chaos, but in the best possible way. Despite the excitement, there were rules in place to ensure everyone's safety. Participants were not allowed to hit anyone who wasn't holding a pillow, and headshots were strictly forbidden. Volunteers were also on hand to help clean up the mess afterward, ensuring that the plaza was left spotless. Aside from being a fun event, the pillow fight also has a deeper meaning. It's a reminder that sometimes we need to take a step back and enjoy the little things in life. In a world where we're constantly bombarded with news of war, politics, and tragedy, events like this provide a much-needed escape. It allows us to connect with our inner child, to forget the stresses of adulthood and simply have some fun. As the night drew to a close, participants left the plaza with smiles on their faces, tired but happy. They had made new friends, created memories that would last a lifetime, and experienced the joy of childlike play. And while the pillow fight may seem silly to some, it serves as a reminder that sometimes we need to embrace our silliness and let loose. So why did thousands of people participate in a giant pillow fight? The answer is simple: because it's fun, it's a break from reality, and it reminds us to enjoy the little things in life. If you're ever feeling stressed or overwhelmed, I highly recommend grabbing a pillow and joining in on the fun next year. Trust me, you won't regret it. In a bizarre turn of events, a group of penguins broke into a sushi restaurant in Tokyo and made themselves at home. It's unclear why the flightless birds chose the restaurant as their new hangout spot, but it's clear that they were having a good time. The incident took place last night at the Minato Mirai shopping mall in Yokohama. The penguins were spotted waddling around the mall before making their way into the restaurant. The owner of the restaurant, Mr. Tanaka, was shocked to find the penguins inside when he arrived to open up for the day. "I couldn't believe my eyes," he said. "There were 5 penguins just walking around like they owned the place." Mr. Tanaka immediately called animal control, but by the time they arrived, the penguins had already settled in. They were sitting at a table in the middle of the restaurant, surrounded by empty plates and chopsticks. One of the penguins even had a piece of sushi in its beak. Animal control officers tried to coax the penguins out of the restaurant with fish, but the birds refused to budge. It wasn't until a team from the local aquarium arrived that the penguins were finally persuaded to leave. So why did the penguins choose a sushi restaurant as their new hangout spot? Experts say it may have something to do with the fact that penguins are highly social animals and enjoy being around others. Perhaps these penguins were feeling lonely and saw the restaurant as a place where they could be around people, said Dr. Nakamura, a penguin expert at the Tokyo Aquarium. Whatever the reason, the incident has certainly captured the attention of people all around the world. Photos and videos of the penguins inside the restaurant have gone viral on social media, with many people expressing their delight at the situation. Some have even suggested that the penguins should be given a permanent spot at the restaurant, with one person commenting, "I would definitely eat sushi with penguins." While it may seem like a silly and light-hearted story, there are some important lessons to be learned from the incident. For one thing, it's a reminder that animals can surprise us in unexpected ways. It's also a testament to the importance of social connection and finding ways to bring people, and penguins, together. In the end, the penguins were returned safely to their home at the nearby aquarium. But for a brief moment, they brought a sense of joy and wonder to the patrons of the sushi restaurant and to people all around the world who followed their unlikely adventure. In a heartwarming turn of events, a lost wedding ring has been found in the most unexpected place, a jar of peanut butter. John and Sarah Smith had been married for 10 years when John realized that his wedding band was missing. The couple searched high and low for the ring, but it was nowhere to be found. They checked under the bed, inside the sofa cushions, and even in the car, but the ring remained elusive. John was devastated. The ring held sentimental value as it had belonged to his grandfather who had passed away before John was born. He had always felt a connection to his grandfather through this ring, and the thought of losing it was too much to bear. Days turned into weeks and John had almost given up hope of ever finding his precious ring. Until one day, Sarah made an unusual discovery. While making a sandwich, Sarah noticed something shiny in a jar of peanut butter. She fished it out and to her surprise, it was John's wedding ring. It had somehow slipped off his finger while he was enjoying a snack and landed straight into the jar of peanut butter. The couple couldn't believe their luck. They were overjoyed at the thought of being reunited with the ring and the memories it held. "I never would have thought to look inside the peanut butter jar," exclaimed Sarah, but I'm so glad I did." The story of the lost and found wedding ring quickly spread throughout their community. The local news picked up on the story and soon it was making headlines across the country. People were amazed at how something as simple as a jar of peanut butter could hold such an important item. Some even jokingly suggested that peanut butter should become the new hiding spot for valuables. But jokes aside, the story of the lost wedding ring and its unexpected discovery is a reminder that sometimes things can be found in the most unlikely of places. It's a testament to the power of perseverance, hope, and a little bit of luck. John and Sarah are grateful for the outpouring of love and support they have received since their story went viral. They are happy to have their beloved ring back in its rightful place and are looking forward to creating new memories together. In a world where bad news seems to dominate the headlines, it's refreshing to see a story that brings a smile to people's faces. The lost wedding ring found in a jar of peanut butter is a testament to the fact that sometimes the best stories come from unexpected places. In an age where we are constantly glued to our phones and devices, it's refreshing to hear about people disconnecting and having some old-fashioned fun. A group of tourists recently made headlines for doing just that, as they rented out an entire island in order to play a game of hide and seek. The story begins with a group of friends who had been planning a vacation together for months. They wanted to do something unique and memorable, so one of them came up with the idea of renting out an entire island just for themselves. After some research, they stumbled upon an uninhabited island off the coast of Croatia that was available for rent. At first, the group had planned on spending their time on the island lounging on the beach and drinking cocktails. But during their flight over, they started talking about childhood games and reminisced about playing hide and seek. One thing led to another, and soon they were all agreeing to play a game of hide and seek on the island. The rules were simple: the seeker would count to 100 while everyone else hid, and the last person found would be the winner. The group quickly got into the spirit of the game, honing their hiding skills and strategizing about the best places to hide. As they played, they realized that the island was the perfect setting for a massive game of hide and seek. With dense forests, rocky cliffs, and hidden coves, there were endless hiding spots to explore. Word of their game quickly spread, and soon the internet was buzzing with news of these tourists who had rented an entire island just to play hide and seek. People couldn't believe that a group of adults would go to such lengths just to have some fun. But the truth is, we could all use a little more fun in our lives. In a world where we're constantly connected and always working, it can be easy to forget the joy of simple games like hide and seek. This group of tourists reminded us that it's important to take a break from our screens and have some good old-fashioned fun. Of course, not everyone has the means to rent an entire island just for a game of hide and seek. But there are plenty of ways to bring some fun back into our lives. Whether it's playing board games with friends, going on a hike, or trying out a new hobby, taking time to enjoy ourselves is essential for our mental health and well-being. So the next time you're feeling stressed or overwhelmed, why not take a page out of these tourists' book and play a game of hide and seek? You might be surprised at how much it lifts your spirits and brings a smile to your face. In a world that often feels consumed by politics, science, and conflict, it's refreshing to take a moment to appreciate the humor in life. Recently, an unexpected star has risen to internet fame, the humble potato. It all started with a simple photo on social media. Someone snapped a picture of a lumpy, misshapen potato and posted it online. Instead of being dismissed as just another ordinary vegetable, this potato had something special about it. Perhaps it was its unusual shape or the way it seemed to be almost smiling at the camera. Whatever the reason, the photo quickly went viral. Before long, people were sharing their own photos of unique potatoes, each one more bizarre than the last. Some looked like they had faces, others like they were wearing tiny hats. There was even a potato that appeared to have grown a perfect heart shape in the middle. As the trend grew, so did the humor. People began photoshopping pictures of potatoes into all kinds of scenarios. There were potatoes dressed up in fancy clothes, potatoes playing musical instruments, and even potatoes doing extreme sports. But why has the internet become so obsessed with these starchy tubers? For one thing, it's a welcome break from the constant stream of serious news and information that bombards us every day. It's always nice to take a step back and laugh at something silly and lighthearted. But there's also something inherently relatable about the potato meme phenomenon. After all, who hasn't felt a little bit like a misshapen, lumpy potato at some point in their lives? We all have flaws and imperfections, but that doesn't mean we can't embrace them and find the beauty in our uniqueness. And let's not forget the power of community. When people come together over a shared interest or passion, it can create a sense of belonging and connection. In this case, people all over the world are bonding over their love of wacky potatoes. It's a reminder that even in a digital age where we often feel disconnected, we can still find ways to connect with one another. So the next time you see a photo of a potato with googly eyes or a mustache, don't just dismiss it as another silly meme. Take a moment to appreciate the joy and humor it brings to people's lives. And who knows? Maybe you'll find yourself inspired to share a photo of your own unique potato creation. Summer is upon us, and while some Americans might be excited for their 2 weeks of paid vacation, it's worth noting that in several European countries, 5 weeks of paid vacation per year is a legal right. That's right, folks, while our European counterparts are kicking back on the beach, we're stuck at the office, dreaming of the day when we too can take a proper holiday. Take Sweden, for example. Swedish workers are guaranteed up to 4 consecutive weeks of paid summer holiday. Can you imagine? For whole weeks of sipping mojitos and soaking up the sun, without a care in the world. Meanwhile, in the US, we're lucky if we get 2 consecutive days off, and even then, we're tethered to our phones, checking emails and taking calls from the office. But why is there such a stark difference between vacation policies in Europe versus the US? Some might argue that it's simply a matter of cultural values, that Europeans prioritize work-life balance and leisure time more than Americans do. And while that might be true to some extent, the reality is that there are deeper systemic factors at play. For one, many European countries have strong labor unions and collective bargaining agreements, which give workers more bargaining power when negotiating their employment contracts. In contrast, U.S. labor laws are notoriously weak, and often favor employers over employees. This means that American workers have less leverage when it comes to things like negotiating pay, benefits, and yes, vacation time. Additionally, many European countries have laws mandating paid vacation time, whereas in the U.S., vacation policies are left up to individual employers to decide. This means that even if a particular company wants to provide their employees with generous vacation time, they may not be able to compete with other companies that offer less time off, and therefore lower labor costs. Of course, there are those who argue that mandatory vacation time would be a burden on businesses, and would lead to decreased productivity and economic growth. But the evidence suggests otherwise. Studies have shown that employees who take regular vacations are actually more productive and engaged when they return to work, and that companies with generous vacation policies tend to have lower turnover rates and higher employee satisfaction. So why not give American workers the same rights and benefits as our European counterparts? After all, we're just as deserving of a break from the daily grind. And while it might be too late to change things this summer, perhaps it's time to start advocating for better labor laws and stronger protections for workers. In the meantime, if you're one of the lucky few Americans who does get some time off this summer, make the most of it. Take that road trip you've been dreaming of, or visit that national park you've always wanted to see. And if you're feeling bold, maybe even unplug from your devices and truly disconnect from work for a little while. Because let's face it, in a world where we're constantly connected and always on, taking a break is more important than ever. So whether you're lounging on a beach in Sweden or hiking in Yosemite, remember to savor those moments of rest and relaxation. You deserve it. Greetings, listeners. Today we're going to talk about a topic that's dear to our hearts, quitting. Yes, you heard that right. Quitting your job. It's not something that's talked about much, but it happens all the time. And lately, it seems like people are doing it more and more. Let's dive into the details. According to recent data from ADP, the quit rate in March was 2.5%, down from 2.9% the previous year. That might not sound like a big difference, but it's actually quite significant. It means that fewer people are leaving their jobs voluntarily than they were before. Now, some might say that this is a sign of economic stability, that people are feeling more secure in their jobs and are therefore less likely to leave. But others see it as the beginning of a new trend. They're calling it the big stay. What does that mean, exactly? Well, according to ADP's chief economist Naila Richardson, it means that workers are staying put because they're happy where they are. They're not looking for greener pastures or better opportunities elsewhere. They're content with what they have. Of course, there are always exceptions. Some people will always be on the lookout for something better. But overall, it seems like more and more workers are settling into their current jobs and making the most of them. This shift has led some economists to describe it as the labor market's settling down period. In other words, the job market is stabilizing after a period of turbulence. Companies are hiring at a steady pace, and workers are finding jobs that suit their skills and interests. It's a win-win situation for everyone involved. But let's not get too serious here. We promised a sense of humor, didn't we? So let's take a look at some of the weirdest, wildest, and most outrageous reasons people have given for quitting their jobs. First up, we have the woman who quit her job because her boss wouldn't let her bring her pet kangaroo to work. Yes, you read that right. A kangaroo. Apparently, this woman had a licensed therapy kangaroo that helped her with anxiety and depression, and she wanted to bring it with her to the office. When her boss said no, she handed in her resignation on the spot. Next, we have the man who quit his job because he found out his coworker was an alien. Yes, really. This guy claimed that his coworker had revealed himself to be an extraterrestrial being, and that he couldn't work alongside him anymore. We're not sure if this was a case of mental illness or just a really elaborate prank, but either way, it's pretty wild. And finally, we have the woman who quit her job because her coworkers were too attractive. Now, this might sound like a joke, but it's actually a real thing that happened. This woman claimed that her male colleagues were so good-looking that she couldn't concentrate on her work. We're not sure if this is a compliment or an insult, but we'll leave that up to you to decide. So there you have it, folks. The latest news on quitting, with a healthy dose of humor thrown in. Whether you're part of the big stay or you're still looking for your dream job, remember that it's never too late to make a change. Life's too short to stay in a job that makes you unhappy. Until next time, keep on quittin'. Climate change is a topic that has been on the forefront of global discussions for decades. It refers to the long-term changes in weather patterns and temperatures around the world, which are largely caused by human activities such as burning fossil fuels and deforestation. These activities release greenhouse gases into the atmosphere, trapping heat and causing the Earth's temperature to rise. As the Earth's temperature continues to rise, it affects us, the environment, animals, the ocean, and the water cycle in numerous ways. In this article, we will explore how each of these areas is impacted by climate change. Firstly, let's take a look at how climate change affects us. Rising temperatures can cause more frequent and severe heat waves, which can have numerous health impacts such as dehydration, heat exhaustion, heat stroke, and even death in extreme cases. Climate change also increases the likelihood of natural disasters such as floods, wildfires, and hurricanes, which can result in property damage, displacement, and loss of life. Moving on to the environment, climate change has a significant impact on ecosystems and biodiversity. As temperatures rise, many plant and animal species are forced to adapt to new conditions or risk extinction. This can lead to imbalances in ecosystems, affecting the food chain and disrupting the natural balance of nature. Climate change also has severe consequences for animals. As habitats change and become inhospitable, animals are forced to migrate or face extinction. For example, polar bears rely on sea ice to hunt and raise their young, but with the rapid melting of Arctic sea ice due to climate change, their survival is threatened. Additionally, global warming has led to coral bleaching events, which have devastated coral reefs and the marine life that depend on them. Speaking of the ocean, climate change has a profound effect on this vast body of water. The ocean absorbs much of the excess heat and carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, resulting in warmer and more acidic waters. This has a devastating impact on marine life, as many organisms are sensitive to changes in temperature and acidity. The ocean also plays a crucial role in regulating the Earth's climate, so any changes to it can have far-reaching consequences. Finally, let's consider how climate change affects the water cycle. As temperatures rise, evaporation rates increase, leading to more frequent and intense rainfall events. This can result in flooding and soil erosion, which can have severe impacts on agriculture, infrastructure, and human settlements. At the same time, increased temperatures can cause droughts, which have significant implications for crop yields, water supplies, and natural ecosystems. Climate change is a complex issue that affects many aspects of our lives, from our health and safety to the environment and the planet at large. The impacts of climate change are far-reaching and interconnected, meaning that addressing this issue requires a comprehensive approach that considers all areas of impact. By working together to reduce greenhouse gas emissions, protect vulnerable ecosystems, and promote sustainable practices, we can help mitigate the effects of climate change and ensure a brighter future for ourselves, the environment, and all living beings. Snapchat has been in the news lately, and not for the reasons they would have hoped. The social media platform has launched a new AI chatbot powered by OpenAI's GPT technology, called My AI, that allows users to ask it questions and get instant responses. However, since its launch last week, the app has seen a spike in negative reviews, with many users panning the feature and calling for its removal. While the addition of an AI chatbot may seem like a logical step for Snapchat given the growing demand for automation and efficiency in today's world, it appears that users are not particularly impressed with the performance of My AI. Many have taken to social media to voice their complaints, calling the chatbot useless and unhelpful. Snapchat has always been known as a platform that values user feedback and is quick to make updates and changes based on their suggestions. So it is not surprising that the company has promised to look into these complaints and make any necessary changes to improve the user experience. In fact, some reports suggest that Snapchat has already started working on improving the chatbot's responses to better serve its users. On the other hand, some experts argue that the negative feedback towards my AI might reflect larger issues with AI chatbots and their limitations. While AI technology has come a long way in recent years, it is still far from perfect and can struggle with understanding human language, context, and nuance. Additionally, AI chatbots rely heavily on data sets, which can lead to biases and inaccuracies if not designed and implemented correctly. The rise of AI-powered chatbots in the tech industry has been met with both excitement and skepticism. On one hand, many believe that AI chatbots can help businesses and individuals save time and money by automating repetitive tasks and providing instant assistance. On the other hand, some worry about the potential consequences of relying too heavily on AI chatbots, such as job loss and the erosion of human skills like critical thinking and problem-solving. Despite these concerns, it seems that AI-powered chatbots are here to stay. With advancements in natural language processing and machine learning, AI chatbots are becoming more sophisticated and better able to understand and respond to user inquiries. However, as the negative feedback towards Snapchat's My AI feature shows, there is still much work to be done to ensure that these chatbots provide a seamless and useful experience for users. One solution to this problem may be to combine AI chatbots with human support. By having human agents available to take over when AI chatbots are unable to provide satisfactory answers, businesses can ensure that their customers receive the best possible support. This hybrid approach has already been adopted by some companies, such as chatbot platform TARS, which allows businesses to integrate human agents into its chatbot conversations. Another option is to focus on designing AI chatbots that are more specialized and tailored to specific industries or use cases. For example, an AI chatbot designed specifically for customer service in the healthcare industry would need to have a different set of responses and knowledge than one designed for e-commerce support. By focusing on creating specialized AI chatbots, companies can ensure that their chatbots are better equipped to handle complex inquiries and provide accurate information. In conclusion, while the negative feedback towards Snapchat's My AI feature is certainly concerning for the company, it also highlights larger issues surrounding the limitations and potential consequences of AI chatbots. As AI technology continues to advance, it will be important for companies to strike a balance between automation and human support, and to design chatbots that are both accurate and useful for their intended audiences. Only then can we reap the benefits of AI chatbots without sacrificing the human touch that is essential for great customer experiences. The metaverse was supposed to be the next big thing in the tech industry, a virtual world where people could connect and interact with each other in new ways. The concept had been around for decades, but it wasn't until recently that the technology caught up with the idea. Companies like Facebook, Microsoft, and Google invested heavily in developing the metaverse, believing that it would be the future of the internet. But despite all the hype and excitement, the metaverse never lived up to its promise. It was plagued by technical issues, limited adoption, and a lack of compelling content. And now, after a few years of struggling to find its footing, the metaverse is headed to the tech industry's graveyard of failed ideas. The demise of the metaverse is a sobering reminder of the limits of technology and the dangers of hype. For years, we've been told that the metaverse would change everything, that it would revolutionize the way we work, play, and communicate. But those promises were never fulfilled. Instead, the metaverse became yet another example of how difficult it is to predict the future of technology. One of the biggest challenges facing the metaverse was technical limitations. Despite the massive investments made by companies like Facebook and Microsoft, the technology simply wasn't there yet. Creating a fully immersive virtual world requires incredibly powerful hardware and software, and even the most advanced systems available today are still limited in what they can do. Another challenge was adoption. While there were certainly early adopters who jumped on the metaverse bandwagon, the average person simply wasn't interested. The idea of spending hours in a virtual world may sound appealing to some, but for most people, it just doesn't hold much appeal. And without a critical mass of users, the metaverse never had a chance to reach its full potential. Perhaps the biggest problem facing the metaverse, however, was a lack of compelling content. Despite the best efforts of developers and creators, there simply wasn't enough interesting or engaging content to keep people coming back. And without a reason to log in and explore, users quickly lost interest. All of these factors contributed to the demise of the metaverse, but they also offer important lessons for the tech industry as a whole. For one thing, they remind us that technology is not a panacea. No matter how advanced our tools and systems become, there will always be limitations and challenges that we must overcome. But perhaps even more importantly, the failure of the metaverse should serve as a warning about the dangers of hype. For years, we've been told that the metaverse would change everything, that it would revolutionize the way we live and work. But those promises were never realistic. The metaverse was always going to be a niche product, appealing to only a small subset of users. And by hyping it up as the next big thing, the tech industry set itself up for disappointment. So what can we learn from the short life and ignominious death of the metaverse? First and foremost, we need to be realistic about what technology can and can't do. We should never let the excitement and hype of a new idea blind us to its limitations and challenges. Secondly, we need to focus on creating products and services that meet real needs and solve real problems. The metaverse was a solution in search of a problem, an idea that sounded cool but didn't really offer anything compelling. If we want to create products that people will actually use and value, we need to start by understanding their needs and desires. Finally, we need to be willing to embrace failure and learn from our mistakes. The tech industry is full of failed ideas and abandoned projects, but each of those failures offers a valuable opportunity to learn and grow. By studying the failure of the metaverse, we can gain insights into what went wrong and use those insights to create better products in the future. In the end, the metaverse may have been a failure, but it's not the end of the world. The tech industry will continue to innovate and create new products, some of which will succeed and others which will fail. And that's okay. What's important is that we keep pushing forward, learning from our mistakes, and striving to create products that make a real difference in people's lives. Level 1. The Banana Man encounter. One day, I saw a big banana running down the street. It made me laugh. The banana person danced and people stopped to watch. They were happy too. Later, I found out the banana person was selling smoothies. I learned it is good to be happy and silly sometimes. We can have fun when we see unexpected things. Level 2. One day while driving to work, I saw an unusual sight: a person dressed as a giant banana running down the street. Initially, it was surprising, but it made me laugh out loud. As the banana person kept running, he started to dance, and the spectators cheered him on. Later I discovered that the banana person was actually a street performer selling smoothies. The encounter taught me that in life, it is essential to find humor in unexpected situations. It can brighten up our day and make us feel happy. So, if you ever come across something unexpected, try to have fun with it. You never know. It might turn out to be an exciting moment that you'll remember for years to come. Full story. Have you ever been in a scenario where something absolutely unexpected made you feel happy, silly, and ecstatic? Let me tell you about a time when I was there at a hilarious occurrence that made me laugh for days. On a typical Monday morning, I was driving to work. Everything seemed normal, the sun was shining, the birds were chirping, until I observed what appeared to be a large banana sprinting down the street. Yes, you read that correctly, a massive banana. And it was not just any banana, it was a human-sized banana running down the street thrashing its arms and legs. The banana was actually there and was moving toward me when I first thought I was having a hallucination. I could make out a person within the banana suit as it got closer, and I noticed that they were moving swiftly, almost like they were being pursued. It was such a strange sight that I burst out laughing. The person selling bananas must have seen my surprise because they slowed down and began to dance a little in the middle of the street. People walking by halted in their tracks and stared in disbelief at the absurd drama playing out in front of them. More spectators joined in, clapping and cheering as the banana guy kept dancing. It appeared as though we had all forgotten about our everyday obligations and responsibilities and were instead taking part in a spontaneous street performance. The world appeared to be a brighter, sillier place for a split second as cars honked and people on the street waved. The banana person eventually gave a few people high fives and ran off down the street, just as swiftly as they had appeared. I could not stop laughing, and even when I got to work, I could not help but smile whenever I remembered the banana guy's antics. In retrospect, the event taught me that life does not always have to be serious. Things that are unexpected and ridiculous can sometimes make us the happiest. Later, I realized that the banana man was a street performer selling smoothies nearby. They appeared to have been wearing the banana costume about town for weeks before my unexpected encounter with them. Every time I saw a banana after that, whether it was in a grocery store or on a billboard, I could not help but smile since I was still laughing about that wonderful, unexpected encounter on my way to work. In a society where we are constantly exposed to negative news and traumatic occurrences, it is imperative to find humor in the little things. Who knows, maybe the next time you see a huge banana running down the street, instead of fearing impending lunacy, you will participate in the dance and create a happy, silly moment for you and everyone around you. Level 1. LeBron James, from NBA star to billionaire, his success story. LeBron James plays basketball. He is really wealthy and has a lot of money. He owns numerous lovely goods, such as large houses and expensive cars. He worked really hard in order to make a lot of money. He also works for the Lakers and earns a lot of money there. However, he also generates money by investing in other companies. LeBron cares deeply about his family. He is married with 3 children. He values his family greatly. If you want to be wealthy like him, you must work hard and invest your money wisely. Level 2. LeBron James has had outstanding success as a basketball player. He became a billionaire as a result of his lucrative sponsorships and contracts. Along with making an NBA salary, he also makes investments in companies like Liverpool FC and Blaze Pizza. James leads an opulent lifestyle as a result of his wealth. Ferraris and Lamborghinis are among the exotic cars he owns. Additionally, he has a lot of properties, including 2 in Los Angeles. Despite his prosperity, James still puts his family first. He values the time he spends with his wife, 3 kids, and them. James' story teaches us the importance of hard work, careful investment, and valuing what truly matters in life. He worked hard to hone his basketball skills and made wise investments in companies that align with his interests. By following his example, we too can achieve success and lead fulfilling lives. Full story. LeBron James has experienced success before. He has been at the top of his game for years, winning championships and being voted MVP. He may now add billionaire to his list of accomplishments, though. Alright, everyone. King James, commonly known as LeBron James, is now a member of the billionaire class. James is living it up with opulent cars and residences while the majority of us are still fighting to pay off our college loans. How does he earn and spend so much money? Let us investigate. James' NBA career is one of the key sources of his fortune. Just through contracts and endorsements, he has made over $1 billion. Not to mention his most recent contract with the Lakers, which will pay him a staggering $50 million in 2024 to 2025. You read correctly. $50 million. You could buy a tiny island with that much money, or, well, you get the point. James, however, is earning money off the court as well. He invests in businesses like Liverpool FC and Blaze Pizza since he is a smart businessman. With Blaze Pizza being the fastest growing restaurant chain in history, his investments have paid off handsomely. So what does a wealthy athlete buy with his money? James, for one, has a sizable collection of automobiles. Everything from a Lamborghini Aventador to a Ferrari 458 Spider has been seen him driving about. But for James, it is not just about the vehicles. Additionally, he owns stock in automakers like Kia and collaborates with Rolls-Royce, a premium company. Do not forget about the mansions either. Throughout his career, James has owned a number of residences, including 2 in Los Angeles alone. One of them even has a theater all to itself. King James is undoubtedly living the American dream. But despite leading an opulent lifestyle, James maintains a grounded relationship with his family. Since 2013, he has been married to Savannah Brinson, his high school sweetheart, and the 2 of them have 3 kids. Even with his busy schedule, James frequently emphasizes the value of being a present father and spouse. What can we take away from LeBron James' achievements then? It is crucial to first and foremost make an investment in your profession and self. James has put in a lot of effort to become one of the best basketball players of all time, and it has certainly paid off. But it is also important to spread out your sources of income and manage your money wisely. James did not only become a billionaire by relying on his NBA paycheck. He took measured risks and invested in businesses he believed in. Last but not least, keep in mind that money cannot purchase happiness. Despite his affluence, James adores his family and spends time with them. At the end of the day, it is the people in our lives that mean the most. LeBron James is a prime example of what can happen when skill, perseverance, and business acumen are combined. He accomplished his objective of becoming a billion-dollar athlete with ease and elegance. If you want to follow in his footsteps, invest in yourself and your hobbies first. What are the forthcoming events? One day, you might find up living like King James. Work hard and play hard. Do not forget to take some time to enjoy the rewards of your labor, such as a home theater system or a fleet of high-end cars, or your luxury vacation. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, issued a warning about the possibility of Monkeypox reappearance in the coming months. The CDC noted social activities and gatherings during the spring and summer seasons as probable contributing causes. Although new instances of the virus have been steadily declining since its peak in August, health officials are afraid that this trend could be reversed if necessary safeguards are not followed. Stay safe, everyone. Monkeypox, or monkeypox, is a rare viral disease that is transmitted to humans mostly by contact with infected animals like mice and monkeys. The disease was first identified in humans in the Democratic Republic of the Congo in 1970, and it has since been confirmed in a number of African countries, as well as the United States, China, Russia, and other parts of the world. Human pox symptoms include fever, headache, muscle aches, backache, enlarged lymph nodes, chills, and weariness. A rash commonly develops on the face and spreads to other parts of the body. The illness usually lasts 2 to 4 weeks and can be severe in some cases, particularly in someone with a weakened immune system. While Monkeypox is not a highly contagious disease, it can be spread from person to person through respiratory droplets, like COVID, or contact with infected skin lesions or other bodily fluids. Social gatherings and activities can become potential hotspots for transmission if adequate hygiene and safety protocols are not maintained. The newest Monkeypox outbreak in the Chicago region serves as a reminder of the disease's pervasiveness. Health experts advise individuals to wash their hands frequently, avoid contact with ill people or animals, and wear masks in crowded indoor settings to help prevent the infection from spreading. In addition to these specific safeguards, public health officials are working to monitor and limit the spread of Monkeypox on a larger scale. Tracking and limiting outbreaks, educating healthcare practitioners and the general public about the disease, and discovering viable therapies and vaccinations are all part of the plan. Despite these efforts, the risk of Monkeypox return in the next months emphasizes the ongoing need for alertness and preparedness. This entails stockpiling personal protection equipment and other medical resources, as well as remaining current on the latest developments and health officials' directives. As we negotiate the current COVID-19 epidemic, it is critical not to disregard the threat posed by other infectious diseases like Monkeypox. We can help prevent the spread of this disease and keep our communities safe and healthy by taking basic precautions to protect ourselves and others. Every day, we go about our lives in a world that is full of miracles. From the moment we wake up and take our first breath, to the last thoughts we have before we fall asleep, there are countless events happening around us that are nothing short of miraculous. Take breathing for instance. It's an act that we do without even thinking about it, but the process behind it is truly amazing. Our lungs take in oxygen from the air, which then travels through our bloodstream and provides energy to our cells. This simple act of breathing is what keeps us alive, yet we take it for granted every day. Another daily miracle is the power of the sun. Every morning, it rises in the east and sets in the west, providing us with light and warmth throughout the day. Without the sun, life on Earth would not exist. Plants would not be able to photosynthesize, and we would not have food to eat. The sun is constantly working to sustain life on our planet, and yet we rarely give it a second thought. Water is another everyday miracle that we often overlook. We turn on a faucet and clean water flows out, ready for us to drink or use for other purposes. However, more than 2 billion people in the world don't have access to safe drinking water. Clean water is something that many of us take for granted, but it's a precious resource that should be appreciated and conserved. When we eat food, our bodies break it down into energy that fuels our movements and thoughts. The process of digestion is complex and fascinating, involving enzymes, acids, and muscles. The fact that we can eat a variety of foods and extract the necessary nutrients to survive is remarkable. We may think of eating as a chore or pleasure, but it's also a daily miracle. Our bodies are made up of trillions of cells, each with its own job to do. The fact that our bodies can function so seamlessly is a testament to the wonders of biology. Our cells work together to keep our hearts beating, our lungs breathing, and our brains functioning. Every day, our bodies are performing countless tasks that we don't even realize. One of the most incredible daily miracles is the power of love. Whether it's the love between parent and child, friends, or partners, love has the power to transform lives. It inspires us to be kind, compassionate, and selfless. Love can heal wounds and bring joy into our lives. It's a force that we can't see or touch, but we can certainly feel its impact every day. The world around us is full of everyday miracles like these. They may seem small or insignificant, but they are what make life worth living. We should take a moment each day to appreciate these simple yet amazing acts that happen all around us. Life is full of everyday miracles that we often overlook. From the act of breathing to the power of the sun and the magic of love, there are countless events happening around us that are nothing short of miraculous. By taking a moment each day to appreciate these wonders, we can gain a deeper appreciation for the world we live in and the beauty that surrounds us. On this day in history, May 16, 1984, something truly spectacular happened. The world was introduced to the one and only Tetris. Yes, you read that right. Today marks the anniversary of the beloved video game's release. With its unmistakable soundtrack and simple yet addicting gameplay, Tetris has become a classic among gamers and non-gamers alike. For those who may not be familiar with the game, let me give you a quick rundown. Tetris is a puzzle game in which players must fit falling blocks together to create solid lines. As the game progresses, the blocks fall faster and faster, making it increasingly difficult to keep up. Now, you may be wondering what makes Tetris so special. After all, there are plenty of other puzzle games out there. Well, for one thing, Tetris has been played by millions of people around the world since its release nearly 40 years ago. But more than that, Tetris has had a significant impact on popular culture. For example, did you know that the game has been used as a tool to study the effects of trauma on the brain? In a 2009 study, researchers found that playing Tetris after a traumatic event helped reduce the incidence of flashbacks and other symptoms of post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD. But it's not just scientists who have taken an interest in Tetris. The game has also been referenced in movies, TV shows, and even music videos. In fact, the iconic Tetris theme has been remixed and covered countless times over the years. Perhaps the most memorable example of Tetris' influence on popular culture came in 1989, when a giant game of Tetris was played on the side of a skyscraper in Philadelphia. Using colored lights, a group of hackers known as the Franklin Institute's Computer Museum Tetris team turned the city's Cira Center into a giant version of the game. The event drew crowds of onlookers and even garnered coverage on national news networks. It was a testament to the enduring popularity of Tetris and the creativity of its fans. Of course, we can't forget about the countless hours of fun that people have had playing the game over the years. Whether you're a seasoned pro or a casual player, there's something undeniably satisfying about fitting those blocks together just right. So, as we celebrate the anniversary of Tetris' release today, let's take a moment to appreciate all the joy and entertainment that this simple yet brilliant game has brought into our lives. And who knows? Maybe a new generation of gamers will fall in love with Tetris, just like so many of us did all those years ago. If you're looking for a pig who's picky about their soup, look no further than this particular swine. This little guy loves nothing more than a steaming bowl of chicken noodle soup, but don't expect him to indulge while you're watching. That's right, despite his love for the savory broth, this porcine pal won't take so much as a nibble if there are any humans around to observe him. Maybe he's just shy, or perhaps he's afraid of being judged for his unconventional soup preferences. Either way, it's clear that this pig has some serious soup standards. But let's back up for a moment and talk about how this whole soup obsession began. According to those in the know, our porcine friend first discovered the delights of chicken noodle soup when he snuck into a nearby kitchen one chilly winter evening. The aroma of the soup was too much for him to resist, and before he knew it, he was slurping down spoonfuls of hot, savory broth like it was going out of style. From that point on, the pig was hooked. He would sneak into the kitchen whenever he could, searching for a fresh pot of homemade chicken noodle soup to satisfy his cravings. And when he couldn't find any, he'd sulk around the barnyard, grunting and snuffling until someone took pity on him and whipped up a batch. Of course, as word spread about the pig's unusual tastes, people began to take notice. Some were amused by the sight of a pig chowing down on soup, while others were skeptical and downright disapproving. But the pig didn't care. He knew what he liked, and he wasn't about to let anyone else tell him otherwise. Which brings us to the present day, where our pig still spends his days seeking out the perfect bowl of chicken noodle soup. But there's one catch: he won't eat while anyone is watching. Whether it's a curious farmhand, a group of amused tourists, or even his fellow barnyard animals, the pig simply refuses to indulge in soup when there are eyes on him. Some speculate that this is due to a sense of embarrassment. After all, who wants to be caught eating chicken noodle soup like a human? Others suggest that the pig is simply a little bit paranoid and thinks that someone might try to steal his beloved soup if they see him enjoying it too much. But whatever the reason, there's no denying that our little porcine pal is a bit of an enigma. He loves chicken noodle soup more than anything else in the world, but he won't eat it if anyone's watching. And while some might find this behavior odd or even a little bit unsettling, we can't help but admire the pig's commitment to doing things his own way. So if you ever happen to find yourself in the presence of this soup-loving swine, don't be surprised if he scurries off at the first sign of human company. Just know that somewhere out there, he's slurping down spoonfuls of steaming hot broth with gusto, completely unself-conscious and blissfully happy. And really, isn't that what we all want out of life, to find something we love and enjoy it without worrying about what anyone else thinks? Well. It looks like Vice Media has hit a bit of a snag. The company, once valued at an impressive $6 billion, has filed for bankruptcy. That's right, ladies and gents, the media giant is down for the count. So, what happened? Apparently, Vice filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy in New York's Southern District Court earlier this week. And it's not just the company that's feeling the burn. Equity holders who invested hundreds of millions of dollars are completely wiped out. TPG and James Murdoch are among those who have lost their shirts in this debacle. According to the company's filing, Vice's assets and liabilities fall within the range of $500 million to $1 billion. That's a pretty big range, but either way, it's clear that Vice has taken a major hit. Now, I know what you're thinking: how could a company that was once worth $6 billion end up in this position? Well, my friend, let me tell you, it's not uncommon for these things to happen in the world of business. Companies rise and fall all the time, and Vice is just another casualty in the game of capitalism. But let's not dwell on the negatives, shall we? Instead, let's take a moment to reflect on some of Vice's greatest moments. Remember when they sent Dennis Rodman to North Korea? Or when they interviewed Shane Smith in his bathtub? Those were good times, my friends. Of course, it's not all fun and games when it comes to bankruptcy. There are serious implications for both the company and its employees. It's unclear at this point what will happen to Vice's staff, but hopefully, they'll be able to weather the storm. In the meantime, I think it's safe to say that Vice's downfall serves as a cautionary tale for businesses everywhere. No matter how successful you may seem, it's important to always have a backup plan. And if things do go south, just remember there's always the bathtub. All jokes aside, it's never easy to see a company go under. But it's important to remember that in the grand scheme of things, life goes on. Who knows, maybe Vice will be able to bounce back stronger than ever before. Until then, we'll just have to sit back and watch as the drama unfolds. So, what can we learn from Vice's bankruptcy? Well, for starters, it's a reminder that nothing in business is guaranteed. Just because you're successful now doesn't mean you always will be. It's important to always stay vigilant and be prepared for any eventuality. And who knows, maybe one day we'll see Vice rise from the ashes like a phoenix. Until then, I'm sure Dennis Rodman has some free time on his hands if anyone needs an interview subject.